The Lich King finally came back in the glorious Shadowlands trailer at BlizzCon, and the crowd, rightfully so, went wild. However, we didn't really get to enjoy our new Lich King for very long, now did we, seeing as Sylvanas brought him to his knees like it was nothing. Sylvanas has been a part of the Warcraft universe since Warcraft 3, and while she has obviously been powerful in the past, this is a whole new kind of powerful. I mean, she wasn't only able to bring down a newly melded Bolvar 4 dragon, but she also practically one-shot Varrock Saurfang. Now, nobody bats an eye when a Banshee turns into smoke and flies all around the place, but when that very same Banshee shoots literal death out of her fingertips, then I think it's time to take a closer look. How did Sylvanas get so powerful? Let's take a look at that, shall we? To explain Sylvanas' power, I first have to explain a little bit about the Shadowlands and how they work, so bear with me. The Shadowlands are a separate plane of existence to which every mortal being must go once they pass away. When a soul arrives, it must appear before a mysterious being known as the Arbiter. All of the soul's strengths, flaws, thoughts, failures and accomplishments are then judged by this being, who then selects which realm of the Shadowlands the soul is best suited for. Once this process is complete, the soul is sent to one of these realms, bringing with it a vital force known as anima. Anima is what keeps the Shadowlands in working order. It's what lets a nature grow, and it's also the source from which you draw power to perform death magic. The amount of anima a soul brings with it depends on what they did in life, not in a good versus bad kind of way, but more in an achievements kind of way. Let's take 𝔒𝔱𝔡ℏ𝔯𝔞𝔣𝔱 for example. While we generally see him as a bad guy, he most certainly entered the Shadowlands with a lot of anima, seeing that he was a very mighty warrior who did achieve a lot of what he set out to do. Each realm of the Shadowlands is ruled by a powerful covenant, who in one way or another play a major role in upholding the ecosystem of the afterlife. When the Arbiter sends a soul to one of these covenants, they also receive that soul's anima, powering up the covenant and giving them resources to expand, and, excuse the expression, but live. Now this is all well and good when it works correctly, however the Shadowlands have been malfunctioning greatly for several years, and it's all because of the Jailer and his realm, the Maw. The Jailer has somehow managed to cut off the stream of souls that should be going to the Arbiter, instead bringing them directly into his own realm, meaning that all the anima that's supposed to be going around to all the covenants has been completely cut off. How he has managed to do this is still unclear, but the fact remains. The Jailer is keeping all of the anima or power to himself. Well, almost to himself. We do know of one person who is actively working with the Jailer, and that is none other than Sylvanas Windrunner. Now this is where it gets interesting. For the past few expansions, we have basically known nothing about Sylvanas' greater plan. We always hear her say stuff like, all according to plan, and if they only knew. Well, now we still don't know very much, but we're absolutely getting somewhere. Sylvanas has been working with the Jailer ever since the short story Edge of Night, which takes place between Wrath of the Lich King and Cataclysm. Now that we know that the Jailer and Sylvanas work towards a common goal, we can only assume that the Jailer has been funneling out power to Sylvanas to the best of his ability, resulting in her being able to use death magic. But this doesn't explain the enormous power spike we saw through BFA. Well, with Sylvanas as war chief, she knew that it was time to reignite the fire between the Horde and the Alliance. No pun intended. Not because she saw a weak spot or because she had the best interests of the Horde at heart. No. She did this so that people would die. So that a lot of people would die. Remember, all the anima from these deaths go straight to the Jailer, powering him up, which in part powers up Sylvanas. In the end, it seems that the plan was to open the way between the Plane of Azeroth and the Shadowlands. To do this, they knew that they had to defeat the Lich King and destroy the Helm of Domination. That's why this could not happen any sooner. Sylvanas needed to take him down single-handedly, so she needed more power, more deaths. And that is the purpose of the war. I've seen a lot of people online complain about the fight between Bolvar and Sylvanas, but after taking a look at all of this, I don't only think that Sylvanas rightfully beat the Lich King, I think she's one of the most powerful beings that Azeroth has ever seen. I'm really very curious to find out how all of this plays out when the Shadowlands finally opens up to us. So, did this clear things up a bit, or did I confuse you even further? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Oh, and if you're wondering who the Jailer might be, I made a video on that a few days ago. You can check that out if you like. If you enjoyed this video and want more like it, consider subscribing. Odd, out.